I've made six figures online just in the last month, and I kind of wanted to make a very raw sort of video. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Blake Ryan. This is the Exit Plan. It's essentially where I just play old nostalgic video games and sort of share my real world experience in the online money space as someone who's been in this space since I was very, very young. Again, guys, I have made close to, or a little bit over, six figures this month, and I sort of want to walk you through my exact thought process, what I kind of do on a day-to-day basis, how I've done this, and sort of everything that kind of goes in between actually scaling a business online. So the first sort of way that I make money, that is Snapchat shows. Now, you guys will see on your screen right now, I'm going to go ahead and attach a shit ton of sort of videos, and oh my God, I'm going to go ahead and attach a shit ton of videos that kind of show my Snapchat profiles. But for a little bit of context, you guys know short form content. You can post short form content on YouTube, you can post it on Instagram. Most of these platforms have obviously started pushing a lot for short form. Now, Snapchat has their own little discovery feed, which has a shit ton of short form content. And previously, this was massive. I mean, they were paying CPMs, so how much you paid per 1,000 views, far more than any other platform. I mean, I was getting paid at one point $12 per 1,000 views on 1 minute content that is vertical format. No other platform does that. And the reason for this was because Snapchat was closed off. It wasn't as if anyone could just register a profile and just start posting. It was something you needed to be approved for. Now, a couple years ago, I was very young. Right now, I'm 21. I believe when I started Snapchat, I was probably 16 or 17. And I managed to get my own portal. This was not easy. I had to reach out to a shit ton of people on Snapchat, a lot of people that work there, and I got very lucky. I managed to get my own. Now, with this Snapchat portal, we did $20 million in gross revenue just within the first couple years. Again, that is gross. That is not profit. I wish I had $20 million. I haven't got anywhere near that. I've made probably close to $4 million in terms of net profit, and a lot of that is still coming from Snapchat to this day, but they have begun sort of transitioning shows outside of shows to public profiles, and that has taken a massive toll in our revenue. I believe this month, Snapchat was about $50,000, which again, guys, don't get me wrong, that is an amazing amount of money to make. Again, profit, we have about 15 shows that are still left on the platform. For comparative to what it used to be when I was doing $250,000 a month, it really isn't as big of a chunk of my revenue as you'd obviously expect as someone who is talking so highly about the platform. And again, Snapchat is very hands-off. I mean, at this point in time, I probably put in about 20 minutes a week. Like, I'm not even joking. I have a team that handles sort of everything for me on the Snapchat side of things, so I really don't have to do too much. Now, the next sort of way that I make money online, and I'm going to go ahead and attach videos and screenshots on the screen at the exact same time, so you can sort of, take my word for it. I obviously run some channels. You can see the plaques behind me, and this makes a decent chunk of revenue. And why is there a 2 times back there? Now, in terms of YouTube, I make anywhere from about $20,000 to $30,000 a month in pure profit. That's from the use of ultra long form content. Now, I talk a lot about this in the majority of my videos, but think of ultra long form content, and I'll put some examples on the screen right now, again, in a sort of animation style, but ultra long form content is essentially videos that are anywhere from like 2 to 3 hours long that are sort of made with the sole focus of allowing users to fall asleep to the content. And that was the primary driver of my YouTube journey. So I started YouTube probably about 7 to 8 years ago. I've been doing it for a very long time. But again, when Snapchat was blowing up, I sort of put YouTube on the side in a sense, and it wasn't as big of a priority. But now that Snapchat started declining, we've obviously reprioritized this. Now, again, these videos, because they're so long, have an insanely high RPM. That's essentially how much we're paid per 1,000 views. And because these videos are anywhere from 2 to 3 hours long, we're getting paid close to about $20 to $40 per 1,000 views. So again, even though we're only getting close to, anywhere from 700 to 800,000 views a month across all of our channels, because our RPM is $30, we're making close to 20 to 30 grand a month. And this is probably one of the biggest things. I mean, YouTube is arguably one of the platforms that I see the most longevity with, just given the fact that people's attention spans are getting lower, people are falling asleep to content more, people need that dopamine and that stimulant 24/7, as well as the fact that even just like YouTube as a whole on TVs has blown up so much, and people are starting to use that on their television. And again, TV has a massively high watch time comparative to other platforms and comparative to, using your mobile device and all these other platforms, just because people obviously can't be bothered to turn it off. Now, the next way that I make money is from my softwares. Now, I have 2 softwares. I have Produce.so. I'll put a screenshot up on the screen right now. And I also have Vid.gg. Now, both of these are softwares that we privately developed, and I give exclusive access to people inside of my mentorship program. If you guys do want to work with me, it's blakeryan.co. I work directly with you in actually scaling an ultra long form channel. I give you access to all of my softwares, and I essentially work with you, and I give you access to a pre-monetized channel, meaning you're earning instantly. Now, Now that is probably my third largest income stream. From all those softwares alone, I make anywhere from like, it honestly varies. It's obviously a subscription-based model as well as my mentorship program. And it usually makes me anywhere from like $30,000 to $40,000 a month. And again, this is probably my biggest passion, right? Building up projects, building up softwares, because again, I see the most success with this. This is what obviously was built from the ground up. It's not like I'm relying on YouTube. I'm not relying on Instagram. I'm not relying on a specific platform to actually pay me out. And this is something that I've spoken about numerous times if you guys are a fan of this channel. Building income and generating income on something that actually brings you happiness. Because again, it's not going to be long term. You're not going to actually commit to something long enough to see results if you don't actually enjoy that business model. So everything I've ever done is always been something that actually stands out to me. That of course being Snapchat, being YouTube, being my own softwares. And now it is again, building up Produce.so to arguably the biggest YouTube tool in the space. Now for a little bit of context on what Produce does, it essentially generates those sleep videos in seconds, completely edited with the use of AI. Now, I know that you guys might have mixed opinions on actually using AI to make videos, and I know it is a bit of a gray area, but we obviously built that internally first because we do run a shit ton of sleep channels. And as soon as it was built, I thought, well, why not leverage this software that we spend so much money making to distribute to our clients? So again, that is a massive driver. And the next thing, and probably one of the biggest things that brings the most income, and I didn't think to include this in the title because I don't think it's fair. I think that I should only really be talking about income that comes from ventures that are outside of obviously info. Now, I make about $100,000 a month in profit, and guys, I suck at zombies, but I make about $100,000 a month in pure profit selling info. Now, info is essentially, think of it as my coaching program, BlakeRyan.co, where I work with clients in scaling ultra long form channels. Now, this is again a massive thing of mine that I love to do. I love to work with people. I love to scale people's channels, and we have like a monetization guarantee. So there's really no risk involved. But again, I'm completely aware that the usual guru really isn't the best person in the world. And that's why I thought, well, I'm not going to go ahead and include this in my total revenue number just because I don't think it's fair. But yes, it is a massive, massive portion of my revenue. And I make close to, I believe this month, I go ahead and put a screenshot up. In the last 2 weeks alone, it's like $50,000. So it's close to about 100 grand a month. And this is 100% profit margins. Now, again, this is BlakeRyan.co. It's essentially where I work with clients to scale their channels. Now, again, the reason why I don't look too much upon this and look down upon this as you usually would for people that sell information, and again, most gurus, is because we've built softwares, right? The offer we have is something that I'm super happy with. I literally guarantee my clients monetization or they don't pay at all. I give them a pre-monetized channel, meaning they're earning revenue instantly right off the bat, so it avoids one of the biggest drawbacks that clients face when they start a YouTube channel as a whole. We also give them access to Produce.so, my private software that I literally own, as well as vid.gg, and we give them access to my CMS, which is a private level enterprise thing on YouTube to actually avoid demonetization and sort of inauthentic content claims as a whole. So that is kind of all of my income streams, and I think I go into depth quite a bit on sort of why I'm okay with information and why I didn't really want to include that, guys. I mean, if you want, we could say my revenue is close to $220,000, but in reality, I just don't think it's fair to include that because again, that's my clients paying me. But guys, the last thing I want to leave you with, and I don't know what that sound was, but this game is getting pretty insane. But guys, what I want to leave you with is probably one of the biggest things that I had wished that I had learned earlier on in life when I was just starting the online money space. Because again, I have been in this space for a very long time. I've been doing YouTube, I've been doing Snapchat, I've been doing social media since I was probably about 14 years old. I actually did Minecraft servers, funnily enough, as one of my first ventures online, and that did not very well. I mean, I made about $4,000 to $5,000 on Minecraft servers, but one of the biggest things, and this is what is very close to my heart, enjoy the time where making money online is actually fun. And I know it might sound stupid, like, what are you talking about? If I made 100 grand this month, I'd be super happy. Again, I am completely understanding of that. Yes, you would be happy, but I can tell you now from someone who has experienced this, the dopamine and the novelty wears off once you get to a certain point. Once I hit 7 figures in the bank, obviously $1 million, I no longer really felt that drive to make money. It actually turned into a drive of building businesses that I actually enjoy. So I wake up every morning so fucking excited to just build new businesses and just kind of see the results on the businesses I built. So again, guys, I'm dying, but what I can say is Snapchat doesn't bring me happiness. Building softwares does. Teaching you guys does. That is what you need to chase. You need to chase the dopamine that actually brings you happiness. And for you, that may be Snapchat, that may be content creation. Find something that appeals to you. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals that are already succeeding in that exact field. And I guarantee you, you will have an amazing life and you will scale. This is the exact same thing that Alex Hormozi says. if you think you're not going to do well, commit to something so long and put so much time in that it becomes unrealistic for you not to succeed. Now, again, if you guys do want to work with me, it'll be linked down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.